Hello there. Apparently, I cannot add the audio because I just still have our banner up, but I am so glad to be here. I do have things that I believe I'm going to be able to show you. I have my friend Kim Hoholick, who is really, oh, there we
There
are.
we are. Woohoo!
And we have just got all the things going on. This is so much fun. And something has happened to Carl. We don't know where he is, but we're just going to rock this boat and we'll hear from him soon. I know we will. But I just wanted to let you know that I am so excited to have Kimmy here. She is, first of all, a parrot head and a friend of mine for right at 20 years, really, from
Over
Margaritaville Parrot Heads. She is, she's just a really cool person. She is one of the best photographers, and I do not say that lightly because you know what? I'm a photographer too. And if I'm giving that out, it's well deserved that she is one of the best photographers I have ever seen work. Her imaging will take your breath away. And you can find her. What is the photography page? Can you help me with that?
Or they can just go to the Facebook page, Kim Hoholick Photography. Pretty
Thank you.
simple. And like and follow the page.
Well, do because you're going to want some of those photos, and you can get them from her. So, one of the things that I have been so impressed with, I'm trying to change some of the stuff, and I don't know where Carl is. So, if you are up to it, please give him a little bit of a prayer up there because between him and Tammy and all the babies and all the love they have and stuff, it's just, you just want things to be just right for them. So that's what we're going to push for. But Kimmy has always been, I'm saying this like I'm talking about you. You're not even there, right?
I'm not here.
But you are. There is Carl. Carl is here. He's okay.
Oh
You're
yay,
okay, right,
Carl.
Carl? Okay. But you have been going into your woods for, I guess, 10 years now and getting all of this work, working with Donna, just going and looking for things, right?
Yep.
Why did you start going into those woods, especially when you started finding structures? You're so brave.
But I'm always gone into the woods. Where I was born is out in a rural area and there's just
Yeah.
woods surrounding me. So, at a young age, I would just go miles back behind the house and just explore by myself and no fear. I was always comfortable being in the woods. But the research work, I've always had an interest in the paranormal ever since I was little. I would say probably my first introduction to it was a local movie that was called The Capture of Bigfoot, which was produced by Bill Rebane in a local area. And as a little kid, I'm watching it, and my brothers are teasing me. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's real, that's real," and they thought it was, a joke. But I was like, "No, I think
Not
that
a
can
joke.
be real." So always been fascinated. And then
And
when
your
I
friend
moved,
Jay is in chat, by the way,
hey Jay,
and Tom McNicholas.
hi. So when I moved to
My
Whitewater,
friend
I
too.
started to learn more about the Beast of Bray Road. And so I started to get more curious, and I was doing a lot of research on the internet. And then it kind of led up to around 2017. Um, I found a video on YouTube of something that was in the area where I lived. Somebody was filming of something weird that happened, and it happened to be Donna. And I reached out to her, and I'm like, "Hey, that's like in my neighborhood." And hey, I had something kind of similar happen there. And we just started chatting, and we hit it off. And she took me out field researching with her, and it was a little scary at first because then once like, hey, there's something else out here. When the whole time I've been naive going into the woods, never thinking anything of it. And so then it kind of like your mind starts to play tricks on you. But then in time, I just got used to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm back to just being comfortable in the woods again.
Well, how long did it take for that process to get through?
To get over
To
that, not
get
long.
over the fear side of it?
Maybe a couple times out in the woods, and then it was like fine. I think if you're guided under somebody that's been doing it for so long and is used to the area, then it's not so bad.
Well, but you had already been used to it. Was it just the shock of knowing that there were other things there?
Yeah. Yeah, I never heard of this Beast
Had
of
you
Bray
never heard a
Road.
cat or heard
Yeah.
something else walking with you or anything?
Nope. I was always
Wow.
comfortable, always at
Wow.
peace walking in the woods.
I I did until I heard a big cat scream really close to my house one night. And that was kind of what made me decide that, hmm, not without weaponry, and it's not going to be mace. I mean, because I didn't want to be lunch. And with
Nothing's ever
that,
bothered me, so yeah.
yeah, well, I got very cautious after that because I had kids and we lived very far outside of Atlanta in a little town. And it was nothing for the kids to be out in the woods. They would go and build dams and do all the kids stuff that little boys do. And there were God knows how many acres that they could just, I think it was like 167 acres. And as long as they didn't get around the lake, then they were allowed to pretty much do whatever
Sure.
until then. Until then. And then I started putting some, every hour. I have to know where you are every hour or maybe every two. I don't know. It depends on how far out you are.
Wow.
But I mean, we're talking kindergarten and first graders, and they were completely at home doing that, just like you.
Yep.
But when I heard that, I was just kind of like, I'm not doing that. So, and I tried to keep him from doing it for a while, and then that was just mean. You know,
Sure.
he too grew up doing that, and it was his idea at the best time.
Yep.
When you realized when you started going with Donna, because I remember that. I remember when you started because you were like, guess what? And then you started showing me your pictures of the structures that you were coming across.
Yeah.
And I had never really, I don't think I had interviewed Jay Beachin yet. He's probably my favorite Bigfoot guy to talk to. But there's a guy down here who is Alabama, hey, he is Alabama Paranormal and Bigfoot. And I had seen some of the stuff that he would film, like when he would, because he'd always leave a camera on his shoulder facing back when he walked out. And I saw a juvenile get up beside a tree because I was just watching, and it was not a bush because it stood up and walked away, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I just saw that. And I mean, he was, it was live. So it
Right.
was hello, Woo Riders. But it was so interesting to me that that had been there. Oh,
Sure.
it's Florida. I love Northwest Florida. I don't get to spend much time on the East Coast, but thank you for being here. But the fun part for me was realizing that I actually saw it. Have you had that happen yet?
Not yet. Hearing noises,
Yeah.
looking at film footages after, being out in the woods and be like, what's that? And I'd send it to Jade and I'd have it like outline. I'm like, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with when I was with Donna too. You don't really see much, but then you look at like when you just take pictures of nothing, but then you find out you had something.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you this image when I was out hiking in the Pacific Northwest, and I was walking the Greenwater Lake Trail. We did the 2 mile loop, but you can go like do a 7 mile loop. But I just did the 2 mile loop. And my brother at the time was telling me, oh yeah, this is well known for Bigfoot sightings out in this area. And I'm like, okay, cool, you know. And then it wasn't until like a couple years later, I just started going through those photos and I started looking and I'm like, what? And zoomed in and you could see a perfect outline shape of what could be a Bigfoot. And I just thought that was like the coolest thing, you know, and it was like back in the distance, you know, just watching.
That's so wicked cool. I mean, genuinely, so wicked
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, um, I did have media assets in here. Carl, do you see them? So we're going to be seeing if we can find those, and if not, then with
Sure.
all the stuff that was going a little bonkers there, we'll just
Oh
start
yeah.
loading them back up. But
Sure.
I was really, I'm always so impressed with your work. Primarily your photography, because it's just that good, right?
Oh, thanks.
But I think that uh, so this is going to start loading them up, and we'll see what happens, right? But when you first started, now some of these structures that you were sharing, they looked like wigwams.
Yeah.
They looked like native wigwams.
Yeah.
And how many different kinds did you find?
So many different ones. I mean, some you can look at and it looks like, you know, a survivalist was doing their practicing on the trails of, you know, making teepee type structures. But the one that I shared with you, Avon Bottoms, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know of any survivalist that was doing that one because some of the logs that were piled up in that, like you were saying, like a wigwam shape, were pretty big, and and it was a swampy area. It just wouldn't make sense. And that area was known for dogman sightings. I think it was back in 2000, and it was early 2000. I want to say 2004, 2005. There was some kids out there that saw some dogmen drinking from the creek there. So of course, it's been an interest of mine and Donna's to go
That's
out
a
there and
little that's
explore.
a little cray cray, really.
Yeah. And we've had some scary things happen. In fact, I think the last scary episode that happened, I haven't gone back out there since with her at night. Because we
I always
just
feel more
had,
vulnerable at night because
yeah,
predators are made to be able to see in that.
yeah. So
And
that's a scary area.
yeah, I mean, you know, one of the things that I have not um, appreciated as much as I should is the fact that I got to interview um, Linda prior to her passing.
Yeah,
And that was something that was really a gift. I was so impressed with her.
yeah,
And I didn't know what I didn't know what I was getting before the, the first conversation. And it was so much fun because very few people have that history, especially around Bray Road, and
right.
the lack of fear also. Linda Godfrey she was a badass.
Yeah,
And she totally didn't look like it or sound like it.
nope.
So, I mean, she's what everybody wants to be, right? When they're
Yeah.
brave and strong and tough and come on, guys, what are you hanging back for? You know, kind of stuff. But I'm not that person. I get scared. But,
We'll get you out there.
well, I don't mind a crowd. I don't. And, but I do know people, Bush Wachowski, before he passed away, we interviewed together several times, and he was, you know, New England. And he was all about dogmen. And I mean, they wouldn't really hunt them because that's stupid.
Right.
But they
Yeah.
would, like, if there were animals disappearing or whatever, they would go and investigate and be around. And he said that there were like 3 or 4 guys, and they all had their trucks, you know, because they were wrapping up, and they were all armed. And a dog man came walking through. I think it was think it was three. I don't remember for sure. I think it was three. And he said that not one of us drew because the telepathic message was very emphatic. Don't touch them, you'll die.
And I've heard that story a lot from
Yeah.
other like podcasts that talk about that they'll get like this mind speak of telling them
Hmm.
like don't even try it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was adamant. You'll die.
Mhm.
That would have, yeah. And some people would have taken that as a challenge, but I don't think up against three of them anybody would have.
Right.
So, but they were walking upright.
Mhm.
So, that was just one of those things that blew my mind. I, again, I'm sensitive enough. I have my gifts, and I've so far every animal that I've ever been around was my friend, even the one that tried to eat my face one day. So that was close enough to a dog pimp for me because I was like, it was on my
You like
shoulder.
to explore the world where you can't see what's out there, and I like to explore the world where I want to see what's out there.
Well, as a rule, what you can't see won't really physically hurt you. It can eventually, I guess, if it evolves or devolves
Yeah.
beyond being a human. But yeah, I don't find that scary at all. So you come ghost hunting with me at a really notorious place, and I will go into the woods with you.
Done.
Fair enough. So, would you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, a few years back, I went to a haunted bar in Milwaukee. It's called
Mhm.
Shaker Cigar Bar, and it's very well known for hauntings. And the most creepiest part was we were in the basement of the bar, and it's really creepy down there. And the host was doing the dowsing rods, where she's like asking the spirits questions, and the group of people, they're all focused on that. I'm focused on what was going on in the dark. And so I kept looking back and seeing what was back there. And all of a sudden I saw these dark shadows just start floating around. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
And I didn't tell the rest of them because there were some skeptics in the group. They were just there for the heck of it. And I kept that to myself. I'm like, no, that was for me.
it is for you
Yeah.
because they weren't moving for anybody else. Everybody else was focused on her.
Yep.
So that was a gift.
Absolutely.
How cool. And I'm so glad that you see it that way too. I mean, yeah, I feel like if I were to see something in the woods, that I would react like that as well. But it would really depend on what it was.
Right.
You know, Harry and the Hendersons Bigfoot. Oh yeah, bring it. You
I think
know,
that's all our image is like, oh, if we're out there, that's who we're gonna see.
well, but Jay told me about the speed, and I don't really, you know, I don't really talk about that much. But since he and I, well, he did it on a show, but the so fast that it's, you know, and I had somebody in Florida that was sharing about their sighting that they had just had and they were still tripped out by it, but with the same description and the same word. And I was like, oh, you did see something. Where were you? you know, talk to me.
Right.
And it was pretty exciting, I thought.
Yeah.
Now, we do have some of your pictures because I can
Awesome.
only upload 10 at a time.
Okay.
And I think they're in the order that you gave them to me.
Well,
But how
there's some
about,
in there from Jay as well, and
yes,
forgive me, not all of them are like professional. They're just cell phone shots because I don't really carry
I'm
the.
shocked that you, Kimmy, did not bring me your most professional work.
No, I just brought you to
These are
show you.
awesome. They're awesome. Don't detract from your work. You are so good.
Thanks. Oh, there's Carl, and he's on mute.
I threw myself out of the show. I was
I
so,
saw that, and then Carl was on mute talking.
oh, it's just like, oh my gosh.
There he is.
I can't hear you, Carl. But I'm going to add this one to the stage.
You don't have the pictures down there. When
Oh,
you went out, you took them with you.
oh, okay.
No.
Well, let's add those back.
I've got the video from Facebook that you sent me
Um.
for tonight's show with her.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to go and grab these back, and we're going to add them in.
Awesome.
I lost Carl. No, I didn't. Okay. This is a very strange night. It's only because I'm
Here,
flying.
and I bring the tech issues with me, so enjoy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, between you and me both, this is going to be an interesting night because I have a 4 a.m. flight in the morning, a 5 a.m. flight in the morning that I'm going to be, but I'm going to be wending my way to Arkansas, so that'll be fun.
Hey, you're getting a little bit closer to me.
I am a little closer to you.
Inch up a few miles up. Come see me.
You could come down to Eureka Springs.
Ooh, very nice. I've been to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I loved it there.
Have you really?
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? Was it awesome?
It was hot.
You did not do that.
Yeah, of course I did.
You're in so much trouble, little missy.
No,
So-
it really is a beautiful area. I went to a cousin's wedding there in this I think it was called Chapel in the Woods, where it's all glass.
Oh
And then
my.
you just see, yeah, it was really beautiful.
I am. Oh, Tom,
Yes, Tom. Mercury, that's the problem.
it's totally my problem. It's been biting me in the butt this month.
Yeah.
So now let's see if we can pull some of these up. Where are they? All right. I'm going to pull the first one up and you can just talk me through them.
Sure.
This is gorgeous.
Jay knows this spot. So
Where is
this
it?
is so we're in the Kettle Moraine,
You're right.
southern unit, and I took this photo as Jay was explaining that this was the intro to his very first documentary, where he was just kind of like walking down the woods there. So I thought, well, I got to photograph it because I just think it's just a really cool area.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And that day was just, oh my God, it was such an amazing
Look
winter
at it.
walk that we did.
How cold was it?
It really
There's
wasn't that bad.
There's not much snow.
No. It wasn't that cold. I want to say maybe 35 degrees, 34 degrees.
Finding J Highway.
The Finding J Highway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and then, there's some guy coming up here. Just don't know who you're going to let on the show. Look at that break.
I'm telling you. So this is Mr. Jay Bachochin, and at this part here, we were kind of doing some film footage, and he was kind of describing how odd that this branch was just shoved up into the tree, and then you couldn't find the other half of where the break was. You kind of look around and like, where was it? Mm-hmm. And it's not in an area where there's a lot of people walking where they would have found it and messed with that, because we kind of went off the trail quite a ways to where this location was. So it was just kind of an interesting area, and hopefully he'll cover some more of that in the documentary when it comes out.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to see
I'm
it.
ready too.
All right. And then here's some chick. Random chick.
That's Sherry.
It is Sherry.
Sherry, she hikes with us, and we're like the three amigos out there. I adore her.
It should be. Always fun to have friends working with you.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And then he's just overcome by
this
the day.
guy is just sitting on the job, right? He's not doing anything. We're doing all the work, and then he just sits back and tips his hat.
Well, at least you got a hat tip of appreciation, right?
Sure, sure. We'll call
Fun.
it that.
Let's see. Whoops, I hit it wrong. Well, that is just not.
This looks like a video. Oh, maybe not. So this is we're kind of like on a low area, and Jay's kind of like exploring. He kind of went off the trail a little bit, and he's just kind of looking at which looks like maybe some odd breaks in the forest. But this is like a good photo to show, because one of the things that my elders, my native elders, are trying to get a message to him is, don't just look up and look straight. There's a world down there too. So this is kind of like a little bit of a start of that.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I think is very neat too, is that you approach this thing with so much respect.
Yes.
And I think that's truly beautiful.
Oh, this one.
What is this?
I hope
It's
you guys
the
can hear the
video.
sound. Yeah, we need the sound.
Oh, I don't know how to do the sound.
Oh, darn. So basically, Jay's just making zombie noises. As you can tell, we
I
have a
can
lot
see
of
it.
fun out there.
They're so silly. I love that.
I mean, that's
Okay,
what you got to
now,
do. I mean, yeah, we're out there researching, but you know, you got to have fun too.
well, you're not out there because you hate it.
Right, absolutely.
And I'm trying to come. Oh, I've got your screen recording. And then I'm also going to add.
There we go. Yeah.
Y'all are so not right. But I love that music.
Yeah,
It's some of my favorite
The
music.
Cranberries.
So I'm going to grab this.
It's just kind of looping now. Always
And,
fun.
and then I went and I think we're going to save that trailer for later.
Sure.
So, because I
We
want to
have
go,
another hour and a half, so
we do have another hour and a half, and I'm going to try to take down some of the images that I've already shared so that we can share the other ones, because it won't let me add but 10 of them.
that's so
So,
weird.
which
It
I
must
thought,
be like a space or something.
well, just something that they have a rule for. Everybody has rules, and neither one of us like rules. So, you follow
Right?
them pretty well, though.
I color outside the lines too.
That is true. That's why we're parrot heads.
Heck yeah.
And not only that, but parrot heads that run together, right?
Yep.
So, what do you think would be your holy grail of a find?
Anything.
What is the one thing?
I think anything is just any little bit of thing that happens out there is a holy grail to me, because the woods I just find awesome. You know, even if a deer passes through, I get excited.
How I
You
get
know,
excited about that.
yeah, you know, any type of wildlife, or even wildlife that you don't typically see. You know, maybe certain type of owls. You know, is cool. So, I mean, the holy grail, I think, you know, as far as like the Bigfoot research, obviously would be to see Bigfoot would be the holy grail. But again, I'm excited at any experience that I get out there, and I'm thankful for whatever nature wants to show me.
What's the coolest animal that you've found so far?
I could well, maybe we'll get to that one, Jay.
We're gonna get to that one.
Oh boy. Um, Gosh, it's like all these years of being in the woods. I mean, bears coming in the backyard where I grew up, and I
Mhm.
would sneak around the corner and take a photo of them. I think one of the things that was kind of caught me off guard as I was going to go photograph in this one area up north, and I start walking down a trail by myself, and I see a coyote in the distance, and I'm like, that's a lone coyote on the trail in my path. I'm going to respect him, and I'm just going to kind of recede back a little bit and give him that respect. And then I went back later, and he was gone. But I
Well,
mean, that's what a lot of it's about, is just give the woods respect.
well, if you want them, very few things, unless they're sick, are going to want to seek confrontation with you.
Yeah.
You know, during the day, and it's really easy to make everything bad. And I don't I don't think that everything out there is going to try to come and eat me. But I do think that if something was having a bad day and was just looking to strike out, or if they were sick or injured, then I wouldn't stand a chance.
Right.
Certainly not just me. And so that's why and I'm a lot older than you.
Not
So,
by much.
yeah, kind of I am. But it's just, I guess I've learned to not poke the bear, as it were.
Right.
You know, it's, if I'm out there with other people that are familiar with the woods I'm in,
Hmm.
I'm fine. But if I'm out there and I'm by myself, I don't generally tend to stay long, because I love the beauty and the peace. And when I used to go to camp every year, it was always in the woods, and we could do whatever because there was always enough people around making noise that nothing was going to come into that environment unless they were sick. I mean, unless there was something wrong with them.
Right.
And so, it's like I just was very cautious when it's quiet and I'm out there.
Absolutely. You
So,
have to be very when the woods goes completely silence, where you don't hear a bird, a cricket, nothing.
mhm.
Be on alert, because that's usually a sign of predators in the area.
And it doesn't really matter what kind of predator. They
Yeah.
always react like that.
Yeah.
My birds, I feed birds. I love birds. I didn't really love birds until I put a bird feeder out, and now I'm like that weird lady that feeds,
Right.
and it can't be the red seeds. They don't like the red seeds. So, which I find very particular for birds. You're getting free food. And I don't feed when they should be out eating stuff that,
Right.
yeah, I don't want them to be dependent.
Right.
So,
I usually like wintertime for a couple months I'll do feeding them, and then like right now I'm not feeding, and then they'll come on my balcony and just look at me like,
chick,
I'm
what are you
sorry.
doing? Yeah. I do that. But I will
Right.
say that because did you know that hummingbirds migrate to the Caribbean?
Yeah.
I did not know that. And so I was feeding my hummingbirds because I have a couple of feeders, and nobody came. And I was like, oh my God, I've killed the hummingbirds. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, they should be
And
coming back in your area by now.
I have them. I saw my
Okay.
first one yesterday.
Awesome.
So I was like, yay. But I mean, I had them come and land on my toe. My son was so funny because my hands, kind of businessy hands, party in the shoes, or on the deck. But I had one just come and land on my toe, and my son, he's so he's so funny. He was like, "Mom, it's like freaking Disney World up in here, seriously." And I'm like, "Animals like me."
You're Snow
dogs,
White.
cats, kids, doesn't matter. Not too many grown-ups. I'm kidding. Grown-ups are pretty okay. But, and that's what sometimes, because I have such an affinity for animals. And I would love to meet Bigfoot. But I also respect that power too. And, when Jay was talking about being out there with his at the time 4-year-old, that kind of got my attention too.
Right.
So, well, enough about my fears. This is about you.
It's all good.
Well, what is, because I know that you do work professionally as a photographer.
Yeah.
And that's part of what started. I've always liked your work. We've always shared pictures and,
Yeah.
when we were doing stuff. And when you started, because you do a lot of work in the Native community and a lot of work there, and you you really are being guided by elders through everything that you do,
Yep.
which I think is very special, and that's a gift. That
It's
is such a
sacred.
gift.
Yeah.
And the things that they're entrusting you with are also sacred.
Yes.
And I think that's very cool that they recognize that within you.
I agree.
And when you started working with them, it kind of developed through the photography, didn't it? Through being
Yeah.
active in your community with that.
Yeah. Actually, started in 2019 as a muralist out of New York, was here in my town painting a mural of a Native American called Black Hawk. And that's when I started to get to know a little bit more of the Native community and this one certain individual elder, Billy Bob. Yeah, he's a troublemaker. That's when we first met. And then, like, the following year, that muralist came back and painted another Native American mural. And him and I just sat and heckled the artist. And yeah, we just became best of buds. And he became one of my first teaching elders. And he still, to this day, is guiding me. And then also on that same, going back to June, is when I met the other elder. I didn't personally connect with him right away, but I was very impressed with him because he was giving Native American stories at the grand opening of the mural, or the blessing of the mural. And I was just sitting there on the asphalt looking up at him just in awe. And I'm like, wow, he's an amazing storyteller. And a couple years ago, I started to work with him a little bit more, and he just kind of took me under his wing and started teaching me. And I felt like I was going through a crash course of learning a lot of the culture and things like that. And I didn't know why. And I'm like, wow, we're just covering so much. And I'm trying to take notes, and I'm trying to retain a lot of this stuff. And I just think that the Great Spirit was preparing me that he was going to be leaving his time here on earth, because in fall of that year, he passed away. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was hard, but I appreciate everything that he tried to give me knowledge over in that time frame. And also, before he passed away, I was able to introduce him to Jay, and Jay was able to have a couple-hour phone conversation with him and start his journey and learning a little bit more on, what is the Native perspective of Bigfoot. And my elder told me after he had the conversation with him, he says, continue teaching him. Learn what you can, and you carry that, what you're learning, your teachings, to Jay, because it's important.
That's interesting. And so special.
Because what Jay is doing out there, that's sacred.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Because I see him every time we go into the woods, he's giving respect before he enters those woods. And that's important and that's appreciated.
Well, and he says, yes, teacher, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, sunrise.
But okay, now you've brought us back to the question of the moment. Let's talk about the human shield.
Oh, Jay.
He wouldn't feed it if it wasn't good.
Yeah, he knows we're gonna talk about it. So as you know, I'm pretty fearless going out there, and I usually don't react much when we're out there. And our last, it was about a couple of weeks ago, we were out there at night, and it was just such an amazing night, nice calm night. And him and I were just sitting there talking, and Sherry's just kind of like off in the distance, and she's kind of scanning what she can see in the woods. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing something behind me, like a bunch of branches or something was coming off the tree, or something was jumping off the tree, like it was going to come down on me. And I quickly reacted by grabbing Jay, swinging around and putting him in front of me, and then just kind of looking like, what the hell was that?
Well, we know your priorities.
Well, I appreciate that he let me use him as a shield.
Well, I'm going to say that knowing you and how quick you probably were, he didn't have much choice.
No, he didn't. And Sherry saw what it was, and apparently there was like a big owl that was sitting there watching us the whole time, and it took off in flight, and it just made this bunch of noise when it took off from the
They
tree.
are not silent flyers when they're taken off.
No.
No.
But it sounded
gosh,
like branches were going to come down on me, and I'm like, wait a minute, Jay, here, you handle
Here,
this.
take this sacrifice.
Right?
That's so funny.
Again, we're always having fun out there.
Well, until you're eaten. Yeah, you were sacrificing Jay to the owl.
Well, you know,
But-
then if we're eaten, then yes, it's a human sacrifice to the woods.
Well, hopefully that's not going to be the case.
I don't
Just
think
saying.
so. We'll probably get spit back out.
I would miss you.
I know.
Well, I wish you had sent me some of those pictures of the structures because those are so cool.
I did. I sent you the Avon Bottom one.
Let me see what I got here.
Unless something didn't go through, but yeah, I did get you that one. Jay says he's got my back.
He always will have your back. And I think that was my glasses that fell. Because I know I'm adding more images, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. But
does anybody in chat have any questions so far? Besides Jay, he doesn't count.
That's funny. He's gonna get his feelings hurt.
No,
Not that guy.
Fine. He'll be fine.
He doesn't sweat the small stuff.
No.
I remember seeing that name. That's why I'm looking as I go through because
I think I labeled it Avon structure.
I think you did too.
Yeah. I try to make it a little bit easy when you're looking for something.
Yes, bring those questions, you. But let me see if I found it. Now I've got the JVL print, PNW, Coletta, Washika City, J print. Oh, this is. We'll put another picture of Jay up. Why not? Oh, that's the same one. We'll add this one. There y'all are.
That was our last time out.
You look like you're
Jay,
ready
me,
to not be out.
Sherry and Michelle.
That's so fun. This one I love.
Oh, the uniqueness of the
Hmm.
kettle, where we have all these like viney trees, and some of it is like poison ivy vines, as Jay has learned. um,
It's always amazing how large poison ivy vines can become.
yes,
I
yeah.
was stunned. I actually had to have removed what turned out to be a poison ivy bush
Oh,
along my driveway.
sure.
And
That's not good.
no, it's not. And it just kept coming back. And I mean, because I don't like to kill anything, I killed that
Well,
because,
sometimes you have to do what's right for protection.
yeah. And it was just chase, poison ivy. Yes, indeed. And
Jay was trying to eat it this past winter.
probably not. Don't do that, Jay.
I
But,
got photos to prove it, but I didn't give you any.
well, that's one of the other things that you have to worry about when you're out in the woods, especially if you're doing an overnight or something,
Yeah,
because there are toxic plants and people will just pick something to make tea.
yeah.
And no, you
So you
have
have to
to
know what you're
know.
doing before you forage.
Yeah. And, and foraging is such a thing now. I was really surprised that foraging was such a thing. But in the European community, especially, it's just gotten ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I have had friends that thought that they were doing magic mushrooms and made tea and died. One of them died
Don't mess with the
because they were
mushrooms unless you
poisoned.
know. Yeah.
And so this is a great example of that because that is a poison ivy vine, right?
Well, they're supposed to be hairy, and I think I've learned what that is, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head. But if it was a poison ivy, it should be a little more hairier.
Yeah. See, I was looking up here and that looks
Yeah.
sketch.
Yeah, but I just love how, when you're walking through the kettles, you see that a lot where these vines are just wrapping around the trees, or you see
Yeah.
them hanging. I'm waiting for George of the Jungle to come swinging through, but it just never
Yes.
happens.
So far.
So far.
So far.
Yeah. But going back to the mushrooms and the foraging, when I was younger, my mom would go and forage mushrooms with my uncle.
Hmm.
And the woods that's kind of near where I grew up, they were doing foraging, and I was little. I was probably maybe, I think my mom said I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, and they were foraging for mushrooms. And she said that I got curious, and I went to play with the cows, and I started following the cows into the woods, and ended up lost. She couldn't find me, and I just remember I'm like so like I remember like just bits and pieces of it. I'm just like following the cows, and next thing you know it, nobody's around me. And I'm looking, and I'm like, it was almost like I was watching a TV screen. Like I could kind of see out, but I couldn't get to my family. And my mom says I was lost probably about 20 minutes, and then they
Oh,
found me.
wow. She had to be
So
frantic.
So I started to think about all of the David Paulides films
Hmm.
of Missing 411, and just like, where you hear of these little kids being taken, but sometimes they're returned, and it just kind of made me wonder, like, I could have been a part of that.
Well, you could. And
Yeah.
what is your take on mystical creatures of the forest?
There's some native lore on that as well.
Hmm.
Some of it can be good and some of it can be bad. And some of the stuff that the Native Americans won't even mention the name because they don't want to draw attention to it.
Hmm.
I believe anything is possible.
I do too. And I especially feel that if the lore has been there through this many generations, that you shouldn't doubt it.
Right?
Especially like in Cherokee, we had the little people. And
The Ojibwe believe in that too. So it's like in the tribes around here, they also believe in the little people.
And, I know that I mean, if I do go into woods, if I go into a forest, I carry dimes so that
For the Fae.
I can leave something. And it depends, if you come, like if I come across a fairy circle
Yeah.
or something. And that's something I didn't know that was everywhere. But when I was in Scotland this last time, we went to, we were with Island Paranormal up in around the Inverness area, a little north of there. And we went to a place that had a stream. It wasn't a well, but it was a stream. And there was all this fabric tied everywhere. The fabric was wishes or prayers. And when I had been there before with that terrible tour, we went to a place called Danino's Den, and they tried to make out like it was a hideous, horrible, you know, place that witches would go to cast. And, you know, with Scotland's history with witches, you don't really want to be talking about being one back in the
Right.
day. So, but it was behind a church, and it's actually very beautiful. That's when my knee was broken and I couldn't go down
Oh yeah.
because the stairs were like a foot thick and mossy. So I stayed up on the top and I looked down and there were things tied there too. And so the people, oh, well, those are curses. People come here to curse. And they weren't, they were prayers and wishes. And
Offerings. Yep.
yeah. And so when we got to the place this time and I saw it and I was like, oh, look. And one of the girls had brought pieces of cloth for us to use. And so you just dip it in the water and you tie it. And when it disintegrates or whatever, yeah, you've got your wish there, your prayer there for whoever or whatever.
Right.
And so, I mean, I'm not one to denigrate anybody's beliefs, but I do think that a lot of times you have to look for the positive
Yeah.
side. Not everything in the woods, not everything historic is going to be evil, wicked, mean, and nasty.
Right.
And not sure what I feel about fairies, but I know that I've dropped dimes, and when I came back out, they were gone. So I figured that you can't even use a dime to make a phone call anymore, so I don't think anybody would have.
It's something
And I am
shiny
showing
and
my
draws
age.
attention. Yeah.
So
It's an offering, the way that I see it. You're
it is an
making
offering.
an offering to the Fae or making an offering to the woods or to anything.
Mm-hmm.
In native belief, it's good to make offerings. One
It's
of the
like
things
scattering corn.
between my elder and what I have taught Jay, and this is something that he's learned in this past year and he's now doing and showing more respect and reciprocity, is tobacco offering.
Mm-hmm.
When he's thankful for something or something's shown to him, he knows to take that tobacco out of his pouch and
Mm-hmm.
use your left hand and say miigwech or thank you and
Yes.
release it.
That's really neat. And I mean, because really, you're not necessarily a guest in their house, but you kind of are.
Right.
It's Jay's tick, poison ivy, and mosquitoes carrying disease. Yes.
He's
All of,
paranoid.
well, he's always covered though. If you watch the videos and see there's no flesh shining anywhere. Everything's tucked in, everything's zipped, everything's tight. So always a safety boy.
Yep.
But it's really an interesting thing to watch and see how other people are within a forest. And
Right.
I wish you were here because I have had a hankering to go hiking and I don't have anybody to hike with. And I can't
You
go
know,
by
I would
myself
go.
because my husband's like, So
I
even at
need
our,
to. I need to hook you up with my friend down in Auburn. She
yes,
loves
you
going
do.
hiking. Yeah,
Yes, because there's
she would
some
love
great
it,
places between us.
and she loves the paranormal. So you two would hit it off.
We would be best friends forever.
Absolutely,
So do that
will do.
and tell her that I can show her some places we can ghost hunt. She might can show me some places too.
Oh yeah, she's always telling me like when her and her husband would go out hiking and she had some weird experience, especially in like areas where there's like no Native American history, and she'll always
Yeah,
come
yeah.
back
Well, that
and
would be
share that with.
everywhere around there
Yeah, yeah,
and around here. So,
sure.
but in fact, the mountain that is between she and I, or me and her, whatever, between us, is Double Oak Mountain. That is on my way to Auburn.
Okay.
And one of my friends that I used to do paranormal investigation with, Wanda, who is one of the best people on the planet, um, grew up on that mountain before it was settled very well. And she was, I mean, Bigfoot galore. She said that it wasn't a thing. I mean, because everybody just cohabitated. It was um it was just people interacting with other families, as it were.
And that's the Native American belief as well. You know, at one
Yeah.
time they all coexist,
Hmm.
and from teachings is when colonization started to come through, you know, and the killing off of the buffalo and everything else, it kind
Yeah.
of like it separated all that because then the Bigfoot had to protect themselves.
Hmm. Well, because they would be fair game, as it
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
But I just found that interesting. She was her husband was the chief of the Red Cherokee Nation down
Okay.
here. And um she was and is she's one of the nicest women, period. She's who made my bag for me and very much nurtured and taught me. So
Cool.
I appreciated that. You know how
That's
that
good.
goes.
Yep, absolutely.
So, but I don't
Take your
know.
teachings.
It's just a nice thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to add another picture up here. This is a stick. That's a print.
Oh, this is
That's
good.
not a stick.
This is good. Let's talk about this.
I want to.
So Jay and I, we've been, you know, talking for years and always chatting back and forth about Bigfoot. And finally, last year, it was like, hey, why don't I come out in the woods with you and kind of teach you a little bit more, you know, as far as like the native side of things. And he said, oh, yeah, that'd be great because I've been wanting to do that. So my very first hike with him, they were telling me about a story of what happened in their previous night hike where, as Sherry would call it, the shakedown, you know, where she just kind of felt a lot of fear and was kind of off into this area that was just close to the parking area. And so I was listening to her story and I'm like, I wonder if I'll find anything there. So I just kind of walked up to that area and looked down. I'm like, hey, I think I found a print. It was a little bit faded because of, you know, the weather in between time, but that's why, you know, Jay took out the tape measure, and it, you might not be able to tell as much in that photo, but we could, you know, lively, we could see like toe prints in that.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the very first thing, my first hike with him is like, hey, I found something. And so now we kind of joke that I'm his tracker because there's a lot of things that I've been finding along the way ever since.
Well, you kind of are a tracker.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not offensive. That's true.
Yeah.
So, because that's how you recognize. I cannot. I mean, I'm going to bring this back up again, but I still could not believe it when you were sending me your photos for that first show ever, and you were just sharing stuff with me.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these images, and I'm like, how did she get this? This is so cool. And there were different kinds of structures. I mean, they weren't just the wigwam. It
Right.
was um
Days of distraction.
Day is a distraction. I don't even know where to go with that.
That's
But
okay.
but it is so funny that actually it's so funny that y'all connected because oh my gosh, y'all are so irreverent. Y'all are so fun. But
Yeah.
individually, y'all are both hilarious. But now I'm all flustered. Oh, yes. The different structures. I mean, you had some
Yeah.
that looked like teepees, you had some that looked like wigwams, you had some that
Yep.
looked like they'd just been thrown together. They were camouflaged much better.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and look at the time though, Kat, that I spend in the woods. I
mhm.
mean, I'm always out hiking and exploring, and I don't just look straight ahead. I'm looking down, I'm looking up, and that's just, I attune to things, especially when you're a photographer. You also have
Mhm.
like what they call that photographer's eye. So
Yes.
your attention to detail of your surroundings is more heightened. And so you just kind of pick up things
Yeah,
faster.
you do. And, I don't do a lot. Well, when I'm in Cherokee, because David's playing poker and, I will go into the woods if I know that there's a lot of people in there. I don't mind that, especially if I'm shooting because it's so pretty. But,
Yeah.
and I'm also doing a study on the Thomas Divide lights
Okay.
because another friend of ours, David Glidden, started talking about spook lights. And so in Cherokee, there's a place that every time I've gone, I've seen them. And David and I got topography maps and, you know, found where all the houses are and just looked through the woods using those. And there's nothing where I see them originate. And so I actually had one come across the divide. I was filming and I had to change my battery and I set the camera down, took the battery out, changed it out. And when I came back up, one of them had come across and was like, I park along a stone wall and it had come across the divide and was at where a tree hangs over that stone wall. And I was like, well, hello, what you doing? Are you curious about me too?
Right.
And so, that was pretty cool. But but I won't stop there if there's other people there because yeah, I stay in my car to film too
Okay.
because there's a lot of bear there, but mainly there's boar and boar
Oh, I've
are
heard,
mean.
yeah. I think in the South, I would be a little bit more cautious because of what you have compared to here in northern Wisconsin. Yeah, we have coyotes, bear, occasionally mountain lion,
Mhm.
wolves more in the northern part.
Yeah.
Um, which I mean, I'm okay with that stuff, but I know that it seems like there's more aggressive animals maybe in the South and
Well, boar
sometimes a
are
little bit to the
crazy.
west. Yeah.
I mean, they will leave nothing. They'll never know what happened to you. And I was on my way up to the divide one night. You have to you have to get in there because they'll close the gates on the Blue Ridge Parkway
Oh, sure.
and because it's part of a state park.
Yeah.
And if you're not in, then, you can get out, but you can't get back in. And I was coming through and I kept seeing reflections and I slowed down because I didn't want to hit anything. And there was a sow with like tons, I guess maybe 12 or 13 babies. And I'm like, oh, I am not getting out of this car, period,
Right.
while I'm up here tonight. Because sometimes I will if there's nobody around, but not
Sure.
not when I know that there's something aggressive around me. So that was a danger. That would have been a if I didn't know what that meant, it would have been
Right.
bad.
Yeah,
So
no kidding.
so I do get out some when I feel safe. But I was at Thomas Divide last trip. We were up there and a car went by me and then turned around and pulled in and was trying to park like across the front of my car. And I just put it in gear and I started rolling and they moved.
That's
Because,
so odd.
yeah, and it was a
It's
guy.
odd behavior.
Well, it was odd behavior and it was a guy. So I think that he was up to no good
Right.
or trying to be.
Right.
I would have hit his car on my way to the ranger station. but but you just have to know your room.
Yep.
So, well, how big is that? Because I can't see that. I I was
It
trying to find
wasn't,
my glasses and they're
yeah, it
lost.
wasn't really big. It looks like 14 inches, if I'm reading that right.
Pretty big for a foot.
I mean, yeah, and this is like, I don't think there's a whole lot of hikers back on this trail because this trail is just a little bit
Hmm.
kind of secluded. So, I mean, and I don't, it's kind of a rough terrain, so I can't see anyone barefoot wanting to walk that barefooted.
Yeah,
Okay, so
14
Jay
by
says
6.
14 and then by 6. Yeah, so it was pretty big. And like I said, the photo doesn't show it, but we could see the toes on
Hmm.
the top part there. You could see like a little bit of toe
But you can
imprints.
see, I'm pointing like you can see me pointing, but up there at the top, of, you can see the indentation.
Yes, yep.
That's interesting. 5 digits. I didn't know that. I guess I should have known, but I didn't realize that they had always 5 toes. Interesting. You'll have to send me that video, Jay. I would like to see that. But
Yeah, we try to do both like still shots and video footage of anything that we find out there. It's
I'm gonna
just
pull.
do the best we can documenting it.
Yeah. Well, the 2 of y'all together, well, the 3 or 4 or 5 of y'all together make a great team. Now, see, this one I found amazing, and I did not realize they were that freaking big.
So this was an interesting story. This is out with Donna. So that's Donna's foot next to it. Um, we were investigating a story that she heard where somebody had a dog man cross the highway and run up into the cemetery. And so she's like, Kimmy, let's go out into the cemetery and see if we could find anything. So
Right?
we went as far back as we could in the cemetery and we parked and I noticed that there was like a trail behind the cemetery. I'm like, let's go follow this trail. So we did. We started walking down the trail a little ways and kind of looked down and I kind of, it wasn't fully cleared like that, but you could see that there was some type of a footprint. So we just kind of brushed it away a little and that was huge.
That is freaking huge.
Yeah.
And so cool though.
Yeah.
Were there more than that one?
Just the one print. It seems like that's the theme. You sometimes just see the one print. Wintertime,
Okay.
it seems like you could see multiple prints and it's probably should be in the library too, where I was investigating in Waukesha County and saw prints that it was weird because it was faded and I thought maybe somebody was snowshoeing, but it was too straight line. Like people don't walk straight line like that, right? You're walking like this.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a tape measure and it was 4 feet apart, the stride.
Wow.
So yeah, that was pretty cool to catch up. So I do, I get to see prints here and there, and I hear wood knocks, and I'm waiting for something more to happen, and it might happen this year. You never know,
You never know. I mean, you really never know.
right?
And it's like when Jay saw that one, he wasn't expecting that.
Right?
Period. Obviously, but it just blows my mind that you're out there and you are just constant seeking. And that's why teaming up with this guy was a good decision, I think.
Oh yeah.
Y'all can seek together.
Yep.
So,
He's
and
finding his truth. I'm finding my truth.
absolutely. And you're working together to help educate each other very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think it's a match made, just meant to be. And the fact that all of y'all go together
Oh
That's
yeah.
so great.
And we always get excited about our next trip out. So like
Yeah.
we're due to go out again this Saturday and we're pretty excited. Oh Jay.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the brother that, yeah, you didn't know you were missing, right?
Pretty much.
And now you wonder, were you really missing him? So
Right.
I kid Jay. Now this one,
That is the one that the story that I just told you about. That's 4 feet between each stride.
it's hard to fathom, isn't it?
Yeah. And
I mean,
I think I threw
yeah.
another photo in there where it just shows like the landscape of it, where you can see the print where it's all straight line. But then I also did the photo with the tape measure to show that was a 4 feet apart stride. Like how, was it running? We were just kind of like, what the heck?
It's astounding, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see one. I don't know how I would react,
I don't think
but
any of us do it. It's just going to be
until it
whatever the moment
happens,
brings us.
you know, yeah, in Jay's case, when he saw that one, there was an imperative reason to be moving himself,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know. I just don't know. It's so. I'd love to find out what I would do.
Come with us.
You're a little far, baby.
You
get your
can do
friend
it.
from get your friend from Auburn up here with me.
Definitely.
Now I'm going to pull this one down because I don't know what this is. Now I'm all turned around. Oh my gosh.
Ah,
This,
I know what this
this
is.
is your, I know where this is.
This is when I was explaining about the Greenwater Lake hike. And I started looking closely at the shadows in the photo after I kind of like talking with Donna,
Mm-hmm.
and she always says, "Look for the shadows in the photo." So if you look in the left kind of corner,
Mm-hmm.
in between two trees, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see a dark figure standing there, and it has
Yep.
like you can see the head and the shoulders.
Yep.
I do have another image, it probably zoomed in more, but I don't know if you have that one. But yeah, it was pretty impressive.
This one, I mean, when I saw this, I just thought, holy wow. And now where is this?
This is it's close to Mount Rainier National Park, and there's this area. It's called Greenwater Lake, and oh my god, it's like one of my favorite hikes when I'm out there. So it's like when I go back out there, I always like I got to go to Greenwater Lake and do that
Mm-hmm.
hike. It's a gorgeous hike, but yeah, and it's just funny because that was my first hike out there, and that was at the same time my brother's telling me like, oh, it's very well known for Sasquatch sightings here, and then it's like I go back and look at my photos, and I'm like, okay, he wasn't
Indeed.
lying because there's something there.
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah,
But I mean, look at that beauty.
yeah, it's oh
You
my
know,
gosh, the Pacific Northwest is like my favorite area to go and visit and hike.
you know, it's I had a what was her name? Shelly Montana.
Yes, I
I
think that's.
interviewed her. Did you hear that show? It's been a
I
long
think I
time.
did. Yeah,
But she got like Bigfoot Explorer of the Year or something. I
yeah.
mean, and she was part of that Mount Olympus program. Isn't that what it's
Okay.
called? And is she still doing it? Because you reacted to her so strongly.
I haven't. I just remember we talked about her, and I
Hmm.
remember her being on your show, and we talked about that. But yeah, it was just kind of interesting because she investigates out there. Um, and I've been to the Olympics, and I've been to like really well known areas in the Olympic Park where, or the Olympic Mountains where there's known Sasquatches. In
Hmm.
fact, I was just watching a TikTok video today of somebody that was in the whole national rainforest, and they says that how it's well known for sightings in there, and it's like, well, dang it, I didn't get to see anything when I was in that rainforest, but it is gorgeous. I just like, even if you're not gonna find a Bigfoot, I
Yeah.
recommend getting out there and exploring those parks out there.
Well, it's the one place I haven't been yet. So I I'm ready to see that area. My dad used to love to go there. They went um, down the Columbia River, if I'm not mistaken.
Over by Oregon?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And anytime you can get around something that looks like this, you have to.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
Oregon is gorgeous. I mean, if
yeah.
you take that coastal trip, it's like every time I take that trip down the coast, it's breathtaking. It's like one of my favorite trips to do is you start up in Washington and you go down into Oregon. And I even got to do part of the Goonies tour. So I
Did
came
you
into
really?
yes, I went to Astoria and went to the Goonie house during their 30-year anniversary.
Oh,
And I
wow.
went to the Goonie jail and got to tour that and went to Cannon Beach and got to see the rock. So yeah, that was fun.
I love stuff. I'm such a sap. I
Well,
just, I love that stuff.
there's like so much film history in Oregon in general. It's like
Mhm.
you get to, like my favorite. It's like a really small town on the heart or on the coast there of Oregon. Is Depot Bay.
Mhm.
Favorite area. I even see whales out there too. Pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Depot Bay was famous for a scene from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest when they stole the boat and went out fishing.
Really?
Yeah, so that was in Depot Bay that was filmed.
That's cool. I love
And
that movie.
then there was another, it wasn't too far from where my friends lived in Lebanon. I can't remember the name of the town where there was part of Stand By Me was filmed. So there's like a lot of areas out there that has some famous film footages.
Well, I mean, it's so beautiful.
Truffle Shuffle. I didn't know
Yes. Yes. Tom at Nicholas said I should just wear my Depends.
that. Yeah, when you come out in the woods with us, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Well, and I'm not fearful if I'm not by myself. I love it. I think it's the most beautiful thing you can do. And I'm so disappointed that and I've actually put out on Facebook and to my kids' friends and stuff, you know, looking for a hiking partner if anybody wants to go hiking. And so
Sometimes
far,
it's hard,
crickets.
yeah. I mean, down by you, I can kind of see it a little bit more, especially like with the type of animals. But here, I love, and I know that you yell at me, Jay yells at me. I love solo hiking. I like just being away from people and just getting out there and connecting with nature. And I will
Well,
go for a long time out there by myself. I don't care.
yeah. Well, I don't. If I felt if I felt like I was as fierce as I thought I was when I was in my 20s and would be an idiot all the time, I wouldn't mind it. But I have, I've learned that it's like those boar.
Yeah,
What if I hadn't seen them and had
right.
been out, you know, and because it wasn't that far from where I was going to be stopping? It's just there's stuff out there
Yeah,
and you have to respect it.
yep.
I mean, you don't need to be really fearful. I'm not terrified. I'm just, if something were to happen to me and I made it through, David would kill me. you know, he's just like, he usually thinks I'm a little bit too adventurous anyway, but you have to be or you won't ever get to do anything.
Right. You
The
got to
first time,
take risks in life. We
the
can't
first time
we
I went
can't
to
stay still.
Scotland,
Yeah.
I didn't tell him I was going. I didn't tell him I bought my ticket. And then I did. So
Uh-oh.
he was like, "You're not going." I said, "I already got my ticket." But in all fairness, my best friend was going and my best guy friend was the talent on that trip. So, you know, I knew how safe I was going to be. And once he realized that I really, really want to do this, I mean, because I could have gotten my money back,
Yeah.
maybe. But, I was just like, I want to do this. So that was one thing. But if something were to happen to me in the woods because I was dumb enough to go in there by myself and not be, you know, not saying that you're dumb to do that. You're comfortable in your woods. You know your woods. You don't have stupid wild boar that like to not leave anything to be found. I mean, you
Right.
know, but then we have bear and stuff too.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't necessarily think that I am that person, really. Kind of I am. But I have another picture up here that I want you to talk about because I'm curious about the name. Okay?
Sure.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Well, let me pull this one down. I'll add this one.
Ah, yes.
Tell me about this.
So have you heard of St. Coletta's in Jefferson, Wisconsin?
Mm-mm.
It was kind of it's not really, it was kind of like a hospital. I don't know if it was considered like an insane asylum, but it was a place where the Kennedys placed Rose Kennedy.
So
So
a
this is,
sanatorium, really.
yeah, like that.
Okay.
Um, and it's been shut down for years, and it's abandoned. You can't really get inside. There's signs all over saying no trespassing. So, but you can go around the perimeter of it a little bit. And so me and some friends, we were just kind of walking around, and I just looked at that window and I thought how unique where the glass broke
Mm-hmm.
and it made that heart shape.
Yeah.
But then when I went back and looked at the photo, and with it being like a hospital or
Mm-hmm.
sanatorium, what do you see in that photo above that heart?
I see a face looking out.
Does it look like a nurse to you?
Yes. It looks not necessarily a nurse. I'm not going to say that because I think it looks more like a man because of the high brow.
Okay. See,
But
and I get a female impression. At first, when I look at it, it reminds me of like from Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of
mhm.
Hearts type thing. I think of that. But yeah, I looked at that photo and it's like I see a ghostly image in that. So
It is a person
yeah, and there's nobody inside there. I mean, obviously you could see through that heart. There's no
because
body.
you can see the brow line, you can
Yep,
see the
the
bridge of the
eyes.
nose, the
Yep.
really big brow, and I think it's spectacular.
Yeah.
I think it's a great catch.
Yeah.
One of
I
the best I've
definitely love that
seen.
photo. What's that?
It's one of the best that I've seen, really,
Yeah.
because of the glass being broken, right?
Yep.
I mean, and not gonna lie, if you look at where the glass is broken and at that face, it looks like a form under under the face. So that's just what I see.
Yeah.
And Jay says to him it's a woman too.
I'm
So
glad
maybe
he
it's a woman
agrees
with her
because
hair
we
pulled
didn't
back.
agree on a voice that we heard in the woods sometime, which we'll have. I don't know if you're able to play that audio, but if you are able to find that, that's a
Is that the
interesting
screen
story.
recording?
Yeah, it's just a recording
Does
called
it say
Hum.
screen recording though?
It should say Hum, or I don't know, Jay, if you remember the file, drop it in chat, the name. Um,
Let me go back and look at these.
It kind of looked like, I think you could see the image of the file where it looks like, the heartbeat thing, like an echocardiogram or whatever they call those things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he
I'm
called
looking.
it screen
Oh, okay.
recording.
Screen recording. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I do have that one up here. Let's go and look. Let me find it. Let me pull this one down. Let's see.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that. Where it?
It was at night in the part of the Kettle Moraine that Jay likes to call Ambush Alley, because you're kind of like you're walking down in between two like steep hills where you feel like you could get ambushed, by
Mhm.
something if it was on top of the hill. And it was at night, and we just kind of decided to take a break. Jay wanted to sit down and take a little break because we were out for quite a while. And for some odd reason, I just felt like recording. So I pulled up my phone and I was just going to kind of record the twilight scene that we were in. And as soon as I hit record, off to my right, I hear that noise. And Sherry was in front of me, Jay was off to the left of me, and I'm just looking and I'm pointing at Sherry as the like, I didn't want to say anything. I'm just like, did you hear that? Like we're waiting for it to happen again. It was the strangest thing. And this happened like I think in February when we were out in the woods that we heard that.
I'm going to play it again.
We were all dead silent. There was none of us that made that noise.
Because the end of it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play it again. It sounds native.
Jay, I think Jay said that. Or maybe Sherry did. That it was like a native thing.
Because it
And
sounds like the and then a drum.
yeah. Yeah, like maybe a melody of some sort.
Like a chant.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was a cool recent find. Or happening that happened to us.
I just think that's so cool.
It just so many cool things have been happening just this year. We kept saying last year coming into this year, we're like, this is the year of connection. We're going to have more things happen. And we are.
You are.
I mean, I'm looking forward to this Saturday going back out there to see what more we're going to capture.
Well, it's so cool because are things starting to wake up there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's, spring is already sprung here. We've all had the same color car for a while, and, everybody's allergies
yellow.
have been, yes, it's so yellow. And mine's red, so that's weird. But it didn't even make green. So that's sad. But Jay says mother holding a child rocking back and forth. Well, it could be that too, but it doesn't sound like a female to me. I think it sounds masculine.
And
everybody hears things differently.
Different.
Every
and
time
now I'm thrown up because now I can't remember if I thought it was a male singing. Maybe I did thought it was a male singing, and then they kept saying it's a female, and now my mind is, oh, it's a female singing.
Right. Well, it sounds very resonant. Yeah. I mean, whatever it is was not trying to be quiet.
Right. It definitely wanted to draw attention. And so after that happened, Jay goes, can we do something? And I'm like, okay. And I started singing out into the woods in an Ojibwe song to see if I can get a reaction. Yeah, Jay, that was my thought too. Is the dress white or gold or blue or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a perception thing.
Everything is though. I mean, when we're investigating, when I'm, ghost hunting, there's always discussion on, is it this or is it that?
Right.
What was this? What was, and it's just kind of like, well, this is what I think, and we'll just have to get it home and hear it on a better speaker and see what we think.
And so Jay was able to take my video and then he enhanced it to the voice recording so that we could hear that a little bit more clear.
I love it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It had to blow your mind to have that.
It did.
Be right there and you actually actively hear that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and just all of us knew to be silent because we were waiting. Is more going to come? And I kept recording. I'm like, okay.
I'm going to look and see if I have all of these, because
Right, Jay. Yeah, my first impression was that hum was a male, and then Jay said it was a female. I think Sherry said it was a. They both interpreted it as a female, and it's like more that I listen to it. Yeah, I kind of get the female impression, but for some reason, when I first heard it, my impression was that was a male singing,
mhm,
a male with a higher tone voice.
I think it sounds male, but I wasn't there. But I do think it sounds male. And I do think it's a chant.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've got to move something out there. Have to move it to add
Jay. Jay says, just accept
it.
I'm right.
Is he pushing me?
I don't know.
No, that's not the way this rolls. So, because I wanted to pull this one up too, wherever it may be. There's two more that I want to make sure that I share.
Yeah, and when you do the trailer, it's about, I think it's a 3-minute trailer too. So when you
We've
do
got
the
time.
trailer for the documentary that's coming out.
This one I wanted to add because this is the one that had something there.
Yeah, so when you saw the bigger picture of the Greenwater Lake hike, where I said it was on the left side, that's zoomed in to kind of circle and draw attention to the figure that was shown in that photo.
So, but I realized when you said that those went together.
Yes, yeah.
So, but I mean, that was not far from you.
Nope.
So, very cool. And that's me. We don't want me. I mean, we do want me, but not just me. We want to. Where's that other one that I just added? Oh, that's what I want. There you are.
With the feather.
With your feather.
Yep.
Was that laying there waiting for you? Was that a gift?
Pretty much. That's how it's perceived. It's kind of funny because before Jay and I started researching together, we both had similar stories of always finding feathers in our path and trying to figure out, well, what does it mean? What does it mean that we're constantly seeing these feathers?
Right.
And when I got my first native elder and I asked that question, and like a true native elder teaching, it is, that's for you to find out. And so I had to keep exploring. And I think that sometimes, yes, they're gifts, but I almost feel like it's breadcrumb trails to the truth. And I think I know now what this is. It was guiding me to my calling and what I need to be doing in life. And so I don't see them as much. I still find them once in a while, but not as frequent. Now that I've kind of had that aha moment, now I think I know what this means. But they'll still pop up as a little bit of a reminder that I'm on the right path.
I think that's a definite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay was experiencing the same thing, where
I get that. I mean,
he
I
was
get
starting
feathers.
to find feathers and wanted to know, well, what does this mean? And he went to one of my elders and asked that question and was basically told the same thing. That's for you to find out.
Yeah, those wily elders.
Yes.
So, well, I am having so much fun. Do you want to play the trailer now?
Yeah, Jay, are you ready? Should we play your trailer so that we can introduce people what's to come out this summer? He agrees.
Sorry if this guy is just boring watching Lisa happy, but
Hey Jay, what's behind you?
I don't know. Why?
I saw like a white light behind, like following you.
Are you serious?
Yes, I saw it too.
In the sky or what? So you guys can see my red light?
Yeah. It was on the trail behind you. There it is again. Did you see it?
In the beginning, I came here for something simple, solitude, maybe just an escape. They call this place the Kettle Moraine, an ancient landscape shaped by glaciers, shaped by time. Over the years, the trails became familiar and the terrain imprinted on me. I realized this land is not just a place. It is a partner in my story. I've hiked these woods with my family and friends, even friends now gone, but never forgotten. They've helped me search high and low for what I've experienced in these woods. Bigfoot. I was fortunate to not only find a print, but cast it. Not as proof or a trophy. I needed something tangible to connect with. The Native Americans connected with Bigfoot in the past, but not scientifically. Rather, they listened to the wind in the woods and looked for the smallest signs.
It's not a legend or stories or scary tales. It's a reality for us.
I've been taking a new approach to listen to these living woods. A new approach of understanding. For God created everything in heaven and on earth, the seen and unseen things. Learning the ways of those before me, my heart now has respect for these woods. A respect I thought I'd never had. The living woods has always been watching me from a distance. My faith in God, the Native American ways, and using science will help me find the truth. This journey is about more than just connecting with nature. It's about discovering how our lives are shaped by forces beyond us. Forces that we can learn to respect, understand, and ultimately belong to.
You ready to see more of that, Kat?
I am so ready to see more of that.
Exciting.
It is exciting. And, you know, it's part of why I like Jay so well, because he brings other people on this journey with him. And I'm so glad that you're part of that too.
Me too.
It just, when we were part of something else, it was family then too.
Yep.
And it still is. That, for those that may have missed it at the beginning, we met online over 20 years ago. And we've been friends ever since. And we participated on a very tight web board. We used to have what we called flockings, and people would go places we've never met face to face. And it doesn't matter because we're family.
Yep.
And so when I see you stepping out and becoming part of this, and I see you growing in your customs and your photography and your love shining through your work, your love for your town, your love for your environment, your love for your ancestry, everything that you're involved in that matters so much to you. And I think it's interesting that now, after all this time, we're connected in our quest for the unknown.
Yeah.
And I think that the people that you're working with, I know, are brilliant. And they're brilliant humans and wonderful people. And so you are a natural fit in that. And I think that did you ever think back in the day that this is where you would be?
No, back when we started out in the old web board,
Mm-hmm.
not in a million years did I think where I was at then that I would be doing this today.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, your whole journey.
Huh?
Your whole journey.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's so much that is so important to you and so much that you have grown into.
Yeah.
And you're not just learning, you're teaching now too.
Yeah.
So your quest is important. Your quest is you.
And if I'm able to show people a few things and they teach me back, perfect.
It's all about give and take, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I never would have thought that I'd be here. So
Right.
there's that. It all balances out. So
I mean, I think when I look at our Parrot Head family and where we were 20 years ago and where everybody's at today, it's like everybody just seems to be doing so great in their path.
well, look at Lori and Tom.
Living their dream.
Living the dream. And, there's just so, and he was 110% right about everything.
Yeah.
So, there's so many people that aren't still with us that, we still miss.
Yeah.
But I think that what brought us together came back together again. And I'm so appreciative of that.
Yeah, me too.
If it wasn't for Facebook, we would have lost each other.
Right? Because the web board fell apart and it's like Facebook happened and slowly we all started connecting. And then what's great about it is that we help each other connect with other people. Maybe they're non-parrot heads, but they're part of what you and I are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Malik, for one.
Oh,
That was
yes.
a great connection.
Yeah. Well, and that's somebody whose life is 110 different from what it was supposed to, or
Yeah.
what it was, not necessarily what it was supposed to be. But,
Right.
because I do think that things work out for whatever reason, even when we can't see it, they work out the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But her journey has not been easy,
No.
but she's still here, and she's
We
very
still
well
have
loved.
Yes.
So
And she's a great teacher too of the
she is a
paranormal, with
brilliant
all of her
teacher.
experiences, and when her and Kevin, they were doing MUFON and all that, it's just like
Mhm.
I loved hearing
Oh
about
yeah.
their stories.
Well, it's just they were great teachers together,
Yep.
and she still is.
She is.
We're so fortunate.
We are. We're blessed.
We are blessed, and we get to do
And,
all the
and then we
weird
have
things
Jay,
we like.
but
Huh? What'd you?
we got Jay.
What did you say?
I'm just giving Jay a hard time because
Oh, well, you are stuck with him, so
yeah.
we kid, Jay. You're wonderful. And Sherry too, and your whole family.
Absolutely.
But I just am I'm so thankful to be where I am, because with what I do, I get to see what is around you too. And how fortunate are we? It's such a blessing all the way. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Bye, Jay. We'll talk
Good
soon.
night. And so we are done. I have had the best time.
Me
Do
too.
you care if I play that trailer one more time?
You go right ahead.
Okay. Let's see if I can.
It's a great trailer. So well put
It
together.
is. I think I hid it from myself. I've got to find it again.
And it will be, I don't know if Jay's still with us in chat. It's coming out in August in Pennsylvania at, I think it was like a camp thing that they're doing out there. And then I think shortly after, maybe more fall time, it should be available on like Amazon to stream.
Well, I do all of his things on Amazon, so. Oh, here it goes.
Sorry if this guy is boring. Watching.
I just want people to see it again.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, what's behind you?
I don't know. Why?
I saw like a white light behind, like following you.
Are you serious?
Yes, I saw it too.
In the sky or what? So you guys can see my red light?
Yeah. It was on the trail behind you. There it is again. Did you see it?
In the beginning, I came here for something simple, solitude, maybe just an escape. They call this place the Kettle Moraine, an ancient landscape shaped by glaciers, shaped by time. Over the years, the trails became familiar and the terrain imprinted on me. I realized this land is not just a place. It is a partner in my story. I've hiked these woods with my family and friends, even friends now gone, but never forgotten. They've helped me search high and low for what I've experienced in these woods. Bigfoot. I was fortunate to not only find a print, but cast it. Not as proof or a trophy. I needed something tangible to connect with. The Native Americans connected with Bigfoot in the past, but not scientifically. Rather, they listened to the wind and the woods and looked for the smallest signs.
It's not a legend or stories or scary tales. It's a reality for us.
I've been taking a new approach to listen to these living woods. A new approach of understanding. For God created everything in heaven and on earth, the seen and unseen things. Learning the ways of those before me, my heart now has respect for these woods. A respect I thought I never had. The living woods has always been watching me from a distance. My faith in God, the Native American ways, and using science will help me find the truth. This journey is about more than just connecting with nature. It's about discovering how our lives are shaped by forces beyond us. Forces that we can learn to respect, understand, and ultimately belong to.
Can I make a quick comment about that?
Please do.
My dad and he would always like record Bigfoot films for me to watch. So when I'd come up and visit him, we'd sit and we'd watch all these Bigfoot films. And while he was in hospice care, he knew that I was working on this film with Jay. And I was kind of sad because he wasn't going to be able to see the finished product, but he had the opportunity to see this trailer before he passed. So that's meaningful.
Yes, it is. And I'm so glad. And now you've just wrecked me.
I'm sorry. It makes me emotional too. I try not to get emotional about it, but I'm just so thankful that this trailer was done in time so that he could at least see that.
I am too. That's such a special thing.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it tonight. And for being here tonight.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it again. And for everyone listening, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. And if you're listening to this in rebroadcast, I hope you enjoyed it because we sure did have fun doing it. And we will see you next week. Oh, do we have time? I've lost Carl.
We lost Carl again?
No, he's there. I just couldn't find him. Do we have time right quick? Okay. We're not. We will, Sunday will be a rebroadcast. I will be in Eureka Springs, Arkansas for the Ozark Mountain UFO Conference. So, I will be doing live feeds here and there through the course of the event because I love this conference. It is so up close and personal. If you are anywhere nearby, come to it. I mean, the lecturers are all just mingling right around in. People are so nice. The people that come and attend are fun. They're going to have some different cosplayers. There's going to be things happening and it'll be fun. And you'll get to see me and Lori because Lori is coming to help me with some of the interviews I'm going to be doing. So come play, come learn, Oh my gosh. There's going to be so much about consciousness at this one. You will love it. I know I'm going to love it. So, except for having to be up so early in the morning, it's well worth it. So, thank you very much. Be blessed. Kimmy, you be blessed. And good night, everybody.